Ever since the death of their teenage leader, the Phantom Thieves have fallen silent. However, the police intend on continuing this investigation until the case is fully solved.
I'm sorry I'm late. I had to finish a few things at work. Where are they?
Waiting upstairs. Go tell him to come on down. I'm gonna fetch him.
You're her sister, correct?
Makoto told me everything. Futaba-chan, I'm sorry that I caused you so much trouble this past summer.
It's ancient history now.
Man, that goddamn detective.
Look who's here.
Hey guys.
I've been trapped in the trunk for 3 hours.
Sorry, I'm a little crazy from withdrawal. Did anyone bring some juice?
I have coffee. No, juice!
He like turns and grabs him by the collar. You don't understand, Sojiro.
It's like, oh god.
I mean, I died, but you know, these things happen.
You must be fine if you're
I
jumping
died.
around like that. It truly is a relief to see your face.
Oh, that makes one of us.
I bet that moron Akechi don't even know we tricked him yet.
Still, how'd you pull this off?
You don't want to know, Sojiro.
Isn't this guy considered dead?
You weren't told anything?
I've been dead since the first time that made me start hanging out with these assholes. Just kidding. I love you, Futaba and Haru and Ryuji sometimes. You're not so bad, but that's it. The rest of you can fuck off.
Morgana, you're kind of a pain in my ass.
But you're a cat, so that just makes sense. Oh god, did I mention I died today?
Sai, I don't know who invited you.
Oh god.
Yeah, she came over in a taxi, dumped him off, and told me to keep him safe.
Yep, right out of the street. I still got the scar from the pavement on my cheek.
It was right after they announced he had died, too. Almost gave me a heart attack.
If all the coffee didn't do it, I suppose that wouldn't.
I didn't have time to explain.
Hey, shouldn't we tell boss what really happened?
Oh,
We wanted to
why
make our
start
enemy believe
now?
The leader of the Phantom Thieves was dead.
What?
What we did was make that enemy kill his fake in the metaverse.
Hold on a sec.
He's not gonna understand any of this.
What are you talking about?
The true culprit behind all these incidents set us up. Our goal here was to determine their identity.
True
But we knew the
culprit.
identity.
It was Goro Akechi.
Yeah, we know.
You knew beforehand that he was the traitor, didn't you?
Strap yourself in, Dover.
Ugh,
Who it's gonna be? It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
God, I haven't restroomed enough for this. I'll be right back.
Fair. I'll go grab myself a drink as well.
Wait up. We're not gonna be at this much longer anyway, but hey. Alright, and now I'm back.
Welcome back.
You know, I just realized that I probably could have gone back and... Remember that day we went to Mementos, but it ended up not being able to do anything?
Yeah.
Probably could have stood to do one of those hangout times with Makoto, but in my defense, I don't wanna.
Not fair.
Okay, you knew beforehand that he was the traitor, didn't you? Yeah, he fucked up.
Akechi himself gave us the chance to strike back. He made one fatal mistake.
Couldn't you have just said from the beginning that Akechi was the real culprit?
That wasn't something we could simply bring up. We couldn't have you suspect Akechi. Besides, neither you nor the other investigators would have believed something like that, would you?
True. Akechi was credited with the arrest of the Phantom Thieves. Not even I would think he was the culprit. In other words, you left him alone on purpose. That was a bold move.
God, I can't keep up with any of this stuff.
Look, we can't either.
So what was this mistake Akechi made? What did he do?
He slipped up in regards to Morgana.
You mean a cat?
Yes, Morgana can talk.
Sorry, was that supposed to be a joke?
Oh, our apologies. That's completely true.
You
Let's
surprised?
take Sojiro into
Does that
Mementos or
mean
something just so he can
said
hear the
something
cat.
just now as well?
But you don't understand him, do you? That's how it was for all of us at first, too. When
Oh
you're
yeah,
in the
the
metaverse,
cat can
Mona
turn
talks like
into
a
a
normal
car
person.
sometimes. It's weird.
Man, you are in the shallow end of the crazy shit pool right now. Just don't even. If you can't keep up now, don't even bother paying attention to the rest.
Once you hear that and your brain realizes he can actually talk, you start to understand him in reality. It's a change in cognition, most likely. Thanks to Akechi's lame acting, we figured out something was up.
When we talk, but we
Oh
already.
my god.
Oh, I know a place.
Yeah, we know. We know this.
Oh, am I Mona was the only one who was that.
Mm-hmm.
And since he was lying to us about that, we...
It seemed odd upon further thought.
We got lucky he fucked up so badly.
That said, we weren't so naive to overlook something like that.
I mean, I wasn't. You guys were the ones who dragged your heels.
That's why we asked Futaba-chan to wiretap his phone.
I pretended to be interested in checking the phone out, but I was actually planting my app.
Got him.
My heart was pounding while I was doing it, though.
Even that ace detective could never have imagined a program being installed so quickly. Futaba's quirky nature proved to be a great help.
That was just an act! After a few days of listening, this confirmed his betrayal.
Then I'll guide the police into her palace and have them catch the Phantom Thieves in the act. That would be the only way to arrest them, given their methods. I'll deal with them after that. Let me see. We could say he stole the guard's gun and committed suicide during his imprisonment. How about that? Public security questioning will occur on the first day. And with that room, my...
Is this for real?
Which is frustrating because in this day and age, even if you had something as damning as that, people could be like, oh, well, that's AI. That's AI voice simulation.
Yes, the guard will be one of ours. We'll have to eliminate him after to destroy the evidence, though.
So they planned to get rid of that guard from the beginning.
Well then, I will make the arrangements the day after the arrest, and thus the dangerous criminal
This game does
responsible for
not
the mass
trust us to
mental
put two and two together.
shall
Well,
end his own life.
it took a minute to understand the 2 and then the 1+1, but once that was together...
When he does, you will become a great
Well, I'm just
hero
meaning
who
like
saved
they'll
Japan
say
from
something and
evil.
then immediately flash back
As
to
will
it.
I, of
Right.
course.
Actually, I still don't quite understand how we ended up in a palace even after we weren't in a palace.
See, that's the part they should be focusing on here.
Yeah.
They don't need all this other stuff.
I knew he was acting.
He's no ace detective. Akechi is... On top of that, someone with great. That's why we had... We baited Akechi into Sis's palace, making him dispose of our leader's fake, but think he killed him.
Can you elaborate on that in more detail?
Oh, thank God, finally!
In my cognitive world.
We're sorry for using you without your permission. Your palace had all the conditions we needed.
What conditions?
First, we required a place inside the cognitive world that was the same as in reality.
That place is based on the real world after all. Anywhere that's not warped looks just like normal.
That's why nobody but the person who uses the nav even realizes they're in the metaverse.
Back with Kamoshida, we came in from the station without even noticing.
Until we got the school.
You totally can't tell the difference if there ain't any distortions around.
We had already investigated Nijima-san's palace when Makoto brought the suggestion to us.
I was seriously impressed by that suggestion. To be honest, I didn't quite understand it, but I went along with it.
We had to trust it.
And it was absolutely the best decision we could have made.
Makoto is normally so calm as well, but once her mind is set, she gets oddly impulsive.
I did have a bit of a rivalry forming with Akechi. But I just couldn't contain myself anymore once you became a target, sis. The reason I joined the Phantom Thieves was to heal your heart, after all.
My own achievements were all that mattered to me. I was desperate. I wasn't myself at all.
Should have gotten you a Snickers.
I'm sorry I couldn't see that.
That goes for the both of us. We heard from Mako-chan that you were going to do the interrogation, Nijima-san.
And regarding its location, I take it you used the data from my laptop?
I'm sorry.
Go on.
There were two things we were able to confirm while we were checking the metaverse.
Oh my God, visual aids.
First, our clothes
You
didn't
scared? I
change
thought
when
you
we
said
were
you were
down
an
in the
artist.
interrogation room. Second, the scenery and details outside of the palace proper were the same as in the real world.
Once we heard that from Makoto, we secretly went to check it out without Akechi knowing.
There was also one more thing we absolutely needed to make this work. A perfect cognitive replica of him in the metaverse's interrogation room.
Since he had yet to be caught, though, there obviously wouldn't be anyone in that room.
Once we saw the casino guests and police officers, we were convinced this would work. They looked no different from actual living people.
After that, we just had to work our way into the palace like usual, while keeping Akechi in the dark.
Everything went as planned up until we defeated Sis's shadow. However, it was then that we were met with a terrifying, unexpected police ambush. As a result, even though we managed to grab the treasure, we couldn't get it out of the metaverse. Except that was all an act. We had prepared an empty briefcase beforehand and merely acted like we were taking the treasure. This was because we knew the police would be coming for us.
We made sure before the operation that the police would be waiting to ambush us. And just as expected, he totally took the bait.
Him getting captured by the police went exactly how we planned it.
And I had been interrogating him with no knowledge of this. But how did you lure Akechi into this cognitive world's interrogation room?
Here it comes, finally.
All I needed were the coordinates.
Seems like she used this laptop to remotely access the metaverse. Asking her about it now would drag the conversation onto... No, please, no! God damn it!
This is the exact bit of information that we need right now.
Fuck you! God damn it!
Akechi disposed of the fake in the palace and left thinking he had been victorious. It must have been truly hilarious for our leader who sat idly in the real world's interrogation room. Surely he was acting quite cocky by himself in that quiet chamber.
Oh, yeah.
So that's
Because
why you
acting
gave me
cocky
your
is
phone.
exclusive to
I
me,
only took it
right?
Because of what you told me.
It's a shame I didn't have the opportunity to see that for myself.
You haven't seen much, Yusuke.
I'm just glad I didn't die.
All I could do was try to handle all the messages that started coming to me on his phone. Huh. So in other words, I've been to the metaverse, albeit for a brief moment.
In our experience, there is
Then
little danger
shouldn't-
when someone enters their own palace for so short a time.
Wait, so can she understand Morgana now?
That was what I was gonna say. Shouldn't she have? Okay, wait. No.
I guess she never interacted directly with Morgana in the
Or was like
metaverse.
close enough to hear it talk, which I think. Yeah, he might have been lurking around while the Phantom Thieves were doing their shit, so he would have heard Morgana at some point. Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the other reason we had him give it to you. We needed you to listen to Alibaba, deceive the guard, and ultimately aid in his escape. By having you head back to the interrogation room, we could return you to the real world as well.
I mean, I had to think of some way to keep you from running into Akechi mid-assassination.
Huh. Astounding. I hadn't the slightest idea that such a grand operation was taking place within me.
I'm so glad he was able to persuade you during the interrogation. Even though we knew Akechi's plan, we were pretty worried about that part.
Why is that?
Without Sis on our side, Futaba's plan and subsequent breakout would have never been possible. That persuasion was easily our greatest gamble. We couldn't consult Sis beforehand. It was absolutely the make or break moment of the entire plan.
Still, I'm surprised you could convince me in such a short time. Were you confident you
Short
could do it?
time. Also, I just want to call attention to one other little thing that kind of made me chuckle, but I didn't want to interrupt the conversation.
What?
And she was saying something like, I had no idea that such a big master plan was going on inside me. It's like, yeah, said that one kid from the magic school bus.
But no, just Adele's just sitting there slumped in this chair. It's like, I'm surprised you could convince me in such a short time. 75 hours! 75 hours in that chair!
75 hours without juice.
Don't remember. Drugs.
Understandable. Either way, I can't believe you went for such a risky idea.
If we could just tell you
It was
the
that or
true
nothing.
culprit's plan, I knew you'd realize the bigger picture.
But you didn't.
Realize that our leader was telling the truth, and that there was a greater evil to pursue.
As a result, we emerged victorious.
Kind of.
Then the reason you kept this a secret from me was so you could catch the true culprit, correct?
Yes. Plus, you had lost control of yourself at the time.
What's frustrating about all this is I could have settled Goro's hash, like, during Confidant level 8.
This is stunning. All I can really do is laugh.
I've kind of figured out that you guys made Akechi kill a fake. But what did you do about the body?
The police never even checked it.
Huh?
They had a coroner working to ensure his death was reported as a suicide. That coroner didn't take one look at the scene and just passed along a falsified death certificate.
The bad guys have that much influence?
Murder in a police station would be reckless otherwise. We also knew of a possible conspirator.
Thanks to Futaba-chan's messages and the guard's demeanor, I eventually came to understand. And since the higher-ups at the police knew nothing of this, they were thrown into disarray. As a result, his suicide during imprisonment was reported on the news, just as Akechi planned.
Which is
And
fantastic.
with that confusion, he was able to escape with Nijima-san's help.
I made sure nobody would check the morgue for his body, and thanks to that, nobody knows he survived.
Thinking back to the interrogation, though, I can't believe what they did to him. The callous use of violence and even drugs is utterly abnormal. If he had lost consciousness and hadn't been able to tell Sis about the phone, he would have died. I'm truly glad you made it back safe.
I'm truly glad you made it back safe. Meanwhile, Joker's still just kind of like half drunk from the drugs. He's like, I love you guys, not you.
I love you guys. Some of you guys. Yeah, Makoto, more like Mago to hell. Did you hear what I said, Sai, to your sister just now?
And you, Yusuke, more like useless.
Ah, kill me. Oh, wait, you guys are trying to do that. Oh, man. Sojiro, get me some coffee. No, I need you to go to the underground. You get me some juice. Oh, wait, it's not Sunday. Oh, that's right. I couldn't get juice on Sunday because somebody locked me in the interrogation room. I'm not saying who. Sorry.
Okay, like, I know.
Where's the crossword puzzle?
I know I said that the Akechi and the Santa suit was my favorite thing. No, I think this is my new favorite thing.
It's just, like, he's suffering from withdrawal of juice, but also getting over the drugs. Just completely whacked out Adilsa.
Even
How
the
tough
head
are you?
movement.
It still freaked me out when I saw the suicide on the news, though.
Let me tell you something, Haru, about that hoodie. Is a turtleneck. It is real cute.
We made sure to live normal lives while he was being interrogated to avoid drawing any suspicion. Even with that, I couldn't help but worry for him in my heart.
Well, I knew right away that her plan worked out.
And Ryuji, those
Wanted to
black
believe,
paths are hideous.
considering what
Oh
we-
my god. Hey, look. Ryuji pants, Makoto skirt. Who wore it better?
Completely ignoring that he's also currently wearing the plaid pants.
The answer is Ryuji, because he's not a bitch.
Ryuji's a bit on the dense and carefree side.
Oh, got him.
Did you hear how he got you?
I had to be patient and avoid this place until things settled down. I finally feel relieved.
We knew he was alive, but it was difficult to not worry until we could confirm it in person.
Now that I think about it, my interrogation was just a formality for the head commander. What a joke, letting me interrogate someone who was meant to die. They just wanted to avoid backlash. Very well. From here forward, I will do my utmost to assist you.
Hey, if you bring the same effort to helping us as you did to helping your side, seeing how that turned out, maybe you should just stay home. Oh boy! Did you hear how I got her, Haru? Hey, Futaba! Oh man!
You saved me, after all.
That's reassuring to hear.
I'll do whatever I can to help too. Just let me know.
I don't think there's anything you can do to help.
Hey, Sojiro! Do you have any of those asylees, whatever, for burns? Like, I know that for if you get burned by a coffee machine, but I think maybe you should save some of those heal burns for Sai. We're lining her up.
I'll do whatever I can to help you too. Not with that goatee, you're not.
Oh man. Yeah. We should be happy you're not an actor in any 3D movies. You put an eye out with that goatee. Got him. Got him. Yusuke, did you hear how I got him? Oh wait.
Actually, I don't care.
That's right. I don't care. And you probably couldn't hear it anyway over the sound of wanting to paint people naked, right on? Because the time you wanted to... Zingo! Everyone's just staring at him. I think he needs to go to bed.
Let's take a break for now, though. This old brain is poop.
He said poop! I forgot so much he just said poop in here.
Maybe you should try using it in his
Feel free to
coffee.
use the first 12 to get together and talk.
Remember that, Haru?
Remember that, Haru? We were talking about the poop in the coffee? Woohoo!
You'll need a hideout where you can be safe. Just say the word, and I'll close shop early.
Ah, don't worry. I'll chase everyone out. I'll summon the devil.
Are you sure?
This guy can't leave. Plus, you won't make much progress if people can hear you from downstairs. It's not like this place is the liveliest joint in town. It won't be a huge loss for me.
Not to mention, I got enough money to keep this place going for the next 12 years.
The summary of this plot, we just did this.
That sounds familiar.
It's me, Akashi.
Enter.
That's the death certificate of the principal offender, correct? Is there a problem with it?
No, nothing in particular. More importantly, you've done well with regard to the prosecutors.
The cause of death for the SIU director has been settled as a stroke.
I had him work quite substantially on forging evidence. His loss should be mourned.
It was thanks to his efforts that I could enter the Phantom Thieves interrogation room, too.
The SIU is in disarray with his death. I'll take my time choosing a successor after the elections.
At any rate, I'm now praised as a hero, and I owe it all to the Phantom Thieves.
All possible hindrances are now gone. There's no doubt that this election is mine.
But if the election lasts longer than 4 hours, you better consult Ty. Am I right?
Oh.
It is pretty fun when you think about it.
Election for the House of Representatives. Discussion is swirling around potential nominees as the deadline for candidacy announcement nears. Candidates will announce on the 23rd of this month, while voting will be held on the 18th of next.
Hey, Sojiro, you got the remote? I want to watch Tom and Jerry.
It's not like we can vote in him yet anyways.
Why don't we resume our conversation?
Oh, why start now?
Yeah, it's still the same night. He's still whacked out.
Together. We can finally take it to Akechi and the bastard backing him.
Have you figured out who's behind all this?
Akechi accidentally let that slip after the murder.
If my money, who is backing Akechi, if you know what I mean, you should go talk to Lala at that bar. If you know what I mean.
He said, Shido-san.
Shido? Feels like I heard that somewhere.
More like Shido-san, am I right?
He is unmistakably a man of power if he has such strong connections to the police.
Shido? Could it be Masayoshi Shido?
Oh, Yoshi is my favorite character in Mario Kart.
Oh, homie Yosh!
Remember Ryuji? You said his speech was too loud.
For real?
It's
Speaking
certainly
of too
possible
loud.
that Shido is... Do you have some kind of evidence?
Nothing material. However, there are various conditions which align with that possibility. First, he would profit from damage done to the current administration by the psychotic breakdowns. He's maintained a negative stance toward the Phantom Thieves and has
It's
gained
shitface.
tremendous popularity. On top of that, he'll most likely become the next Prime Minister if he wins this upcoming election.
Mr. Prime Minister!
Did he set us up with that election in mind?
If he is behind all this, that would be in stark opposition to his honest public image.
So his current position and popularity is just him benefiting from the mental collapses.
We'll make him have a change of heart, no matter what it takes.
Mom.
Shido, huh?
What is the matter?
I had a feeling he was wrapped up in all this, just based on the connections I had from my previous job. I think the one who crushed Wakaba's research and confiscated her materials was probably Shido. From the moment Wakaba died, I had a hunch he was involved. But there wasn't anything I could do, so I chose to protect Futaba and went into hiding.
Why didn't you say that sooner?
Good question.
You guys would have definitely gone after him if I had. He would have just killed all of you, no doubt. That's what he usually does to people who get in his way.
Originally, I was looking into the mental shutdown cases. It was then that I accidentally stumbled upon government research regarding the psychotic breakdowns. So I tracked down the whereabouts of that research data and met with the associated parties. Boss was one of those parties. I would never have imagined all of this was connected. The mental shutdowns, psychotic breakdowns, Shido, and even the Phantom Thieves' actions.
Way back when, Shido kept saying he was going to be Prime Minister.
I never would have guessed it was all connected either, considering this is like a Murder, She Wrote thing.
What's going to happen to this country if Shido
Get Jessica
becomes
Fletcher in
Prime
here and start
Minister?
randomly,
What
like,
about the
stitching the
world?
pieces together.
The issue is simpler than that. This is nothing more than yet another selfish adult trying to impose his will on the public.
We gotta expose that rotten bastard!
Yeah, we'll do it like always. Then let's check the nav.
Masayoshi Shido, the guy running for Prime Minister. Got a hit! Well, duh. It ain't a surprise he has one.
Where would the location be?
What kind of things go through a politician's head?
I always think of dirty money and shady actions.
What does he do? And where? We don't got a clue about this guy's life.
His palace must be somewhere that politicians frequent. Any ideas?
Why
The
you're
red
asking
light
me,
dis-
probably be. Like, you sure you don't want to ask Saya? I mean, she probably knows more than I do.
Yeah, I was gonna say, randomly browsing through, killer list. Trying to see they offer a Jessica Fletcher figure. Huh. How apropos. The Diet Building? The Diet Building.
Diet building, but I like what I eat.
Haha. I was gonna say the Diet Building, the exact opposite of a fancy restaurant.
We got a hit!
I did it.
How arrogant must he be to see himself as the ruler of the Diet Building?
Our next target's the big shot politician Masayoshi Shido. We're gonna do this, right?
But first, I need some more juice.
I need my juice. You, Sai, make yourself useful. You get me the juice. What is he talking about? There's a juice bar. It's on Sunday. It's on Sunday, you bitches. Give me the juice. I need it. I'm like Pac-Man without a power pellets. I need the juice. Feel my powers draining.
No need to waste time with him. We just gotta hit the head. Nobody against it?
Of course.
He will be a worthy opponent.
Let's win.
Time for revenge.
Then it's unanimous.
No, it isn't. I was saying something different. But when does that ever stop you guys from ignoring the things that I
He
say?
can't wrap his head around all this stuff.
We'll have to deal with this before Election Day, December 18th. That means we need it done by the 17th.
It's best we hurry before they discover there's no body in the morgue.
Should we start tomorrow then? We can meet at the Diet Building after school.
That reminds me. What are you gonna do about school? You can't show up if you're supposed to be dead.
Miss Kawakami said he went back home for family reasons.
That's what I told the school.
Don't let him find out you're alive then, alright?
What do you
This operation had another purpose outside of escaping
You know-
Akechi's clutches. Shido tried to place all the blame on the Phantom Thieves and deceive the public at the same time. He has ruined countless lives, and even made Goro Akechi, a student, assist him with assassinations.
You were saying?
It's like they're talking as if it's been a few days. It's literally the next day.
Yeah.
A mere change of heart is too lenient a sentence for such an abominable criminal.
We'll be making use of the police statement that the leader of the Phantom Thieves committed suicide. He'll say he has escaped prison, not committed suicide, and was in fact almost killed by a criminal.
Everyone's gonna flip.
You guys thought through all this stuff too?
We're intellectuals, you know.
That's why you needed such a
Just speak
daring
for
trick as
yourself.
getting captured and appearing to be killed. What frightening teenagers.
But the true battle has only just begun. We won the first round, but we must stay on our toes.
Yeah, this ain't the time to be celebrating.
These people tried to trap and kill us. There is no end to their inhuman, conniving nature. We will need to be prepared for whatever may come our way.
I finally made it this far. It's already been 2.5 years since we met.
Back then, you earned the media's attention as a young politician who could rise up against bureaucracy. Because of that, those who wanted to preemptively deal with problems tried to tie you up in scandal.
To think I would fall for the ruse schemed by those decrepit fools in power. I recall that's when you came to me. You promoted yourself saying you had special powers. If it wasn't for the research on cognition that I dabbled in, I would have thought you insane.
I made those troublesome opponents psychotic and erased any trace of that scandal.
Who'd think that tampering with a person's heart could trigger a psychotic lapse or mental shutdown? And when someone like that said he'd support me, I had suspected there'd be an ulterior motive.
It's because I sympathized with your aspiring ideology. I believed that your ideals needed to be achieved for the sake of the country's future.
Well,
Thanks,
my
Citizen.
view was precisely why I pulled the plug on that research.
Gotta head
I
off for
only
tonight.
need you
Hey,
using
yeah.
that
You have a
power.
good night. You get them
It'd be
chores
troublesome
done.
if someone else uncovered how it works.
Juice!
Wakaba Ishiki, was it? That researcher. She wouldn't have had to die if she just complied.
Any suspicions should be snubbed out. Even the smallest doubt must be severed at the root. After all, we had an active public prosecutor's office.
Yeah, this guy is
director
straight
on our
fucked.
side, until recently.
Astounding, isn't it? To think the director himself often forged evidence to secure his promotion. He was quite surprised when you confronted him about it. He didn't know who leaked that information. Well, I got that out of his shadow, so technically speaking, he did it himself.
This country's affairs have become stagnant. The political
Just like this
world
conversation.
is filled with old men who only act to
Like, this
preserve
is
their
information
own vested
overload right
interests.
now.
The general public has forsaken.
But do I
such
even need to
political
know all of
affairs and
this?
Don't even bother.
You
Oh,
basically just know he's the bad guy. He's the
I
one who's
must agree.
orchestrated everything, with
There's
the
no
exception
need
of
to
like
be ruling
Kamoshida and
along with such
Madarame.
incompetent fools. I will lead this country to its revival. Those who get in the way must be eliminated at times. That's the correct way to use the metaverse.
Still, it would stand out if there were continuous deaths and scandals with your political rivals, which is why I made them suspects.
Oh my
Possible
God.
Targets that I turned psychotic and solved them as cases unrelated to you. And thus, the charismatic ace detective was born.
Thanks to your efforts, my clean image remains untarnished, and I've monopolized public opinion. Once I gained public sentiment, collaborators from all sectors began approaching me on their own. The police were no exception. With their management in my pocket, keeping them in check was easy.
When the Phantom Thieves emerged, I thought things might become somewhat troublesome.
And they were just brats once we looked into it. All we needed to do was lay the blame on them.
When you
Wait a
told me
second.
that, I knew then that you were the better man.
Their popularity was a bit beyond my expectations. But flipping it made the negative press stronger. After that, all I had to do was openly berate them. I've been gaining more supporters since. The current administration is dead with ongoing scandals. Never mind the fact that they're my doing. Even the government parties have begun splitting up, and they're dissolving just as planned. The time has finally come. Just a little more, and I will take the seat of Prime Minister. However, inauguration isn't my goal. That's when everything truly begins. I'll make this country rich for the sake of its selfish and ignorant masses who can only rely on others.
In other words, you're creating a powerful country that can compete with the world.
The public resonates with my ideals and follows me. And for that, some sacrifices can't be avoided. That is my duty as the chosen one. Your assistance has been very influential in making my plans proceed smoothly. When I become Prime Minister, I'll grant whatever wish you want.
With this most recent case, my name has become known across the country, perhaps even the world. Surely my story will be passed down as a hero who won against monsters that could control people's hearts. I believe I'll lay low and devote myself to my studies.
I suppose with your age, you wouldn't come up with debauched desires.
I am thinking about the future, though.
This is going to be fun.
Well, how do I put this?
Looks like things have finally settled down. Life's gonna get real busy for you starting tomorrow, right? Get some rest.
Well then.
She's right. Let's take it easy for today. So yeah, hey kiddo.
Remember how I hijacked your phone during the school trip? That kind of came in handy.
How so?
Well, remember how I put that wiretap app in Akechi's phone? Basically, that let me see GPS info for 2 phones, yours and his. I'd be able to tell the precise moment Sai Nijima, who had your phone, ran into Akechi. That's when I saw my chance, and beep, sent the signal to activate the Metaverse Navigator. But there was a chance they'd just pass each other without saying a single word. That's why we needed you to tell Sai Nijima to show the phone to Akechi.
This plan still surprises me no matter how many times I hear it.
Still, I couldn't just directly hack into the Metaverse Nav. It's a mysterious app after all. But you know how it has that bookmark function? All you have to do is push the button. Making the phone think he was pushing that button was totally doable. Pretty good, huh?
You magnificent bastard, I read your book.
Yeah, that's all the explanation you're gonna get for how they managed to do the switcheroo and get Sai into the palace and Akechi into the palace and then vice versa.
Don't worry about it!
Sorry.
So,
The police report on your death isn't going to show up at your school. No need to worry. Seems Prosecutor Nijima worked out some kind of deal with the higher-ups or something. I mean, they haven't even said anything to me. They haven't said anything to me even. As long as you stay quiet, you'll be fine. And I guess if they reported your death now, they'd basically be saying you were a Phantom Thief. They can't really go announcing what the Phantom Thieves are, so I'm sure they'll avoid that.
But I think, does Futaba have more to say? Her
Let's find out.
White, not gray.
It may not have looked like it, but everyone else was risking their lives too. Though there's no doubt you were the most at risk. I mean, you actually got arrested, but it seems like all the drugs and stuff made you forget the details of the plan. Want me to explain how it all went down? It might take a bit.
Sure?
Well, since the rest of us didn't get captured, we had to act. We had to pretend we never wanted you to get arrested. Pretend the suicide news was a real shock. Basically, we had to act like we didn't know anything. 24/7. The enemy knows who we are, so we couldn't let our guard down even once while you were gone. If they had people watching us and realized what our plan was, they would have killed you immediately. Want to hear more?
Sure.
Another tough part was figuring out how to get Sai Nijima and Akechi back from the metaverse.
See, a better story would not have needed all of this. Like, I'm sure they consider themselves very clever for having come up with this convoluted story, but it's hard to understand.
Yeah, and then, again, I have to pull out the one clip again that I suppose you think that was terribly clever.
Yeah.
In order to return to reality, you have to go back to the point where you came into the metaverse. So, Sai and Akechi had to go through where the nav was activated, as in, the hall where they met. Akechi would just come back the same way after the assassination. The real issue was Sai Nijima. We needed to stop her for a moment before she headed back toward the interrogation room, but nothing can be sent to a phone inside a palace. So, I had to program the messages in beforehand. In doing so, I made it seem like the messages were coming at that exact moment in time. That part was kinda last minute, so I had to pull an all-nighter trying to get it set up. I'm really on a roll here. Let me see. Oh yeah, tying Akechi up. That was really tough. I obviously don't mean the real Akechi. Even if we could do that, it would ruin our plan. The one we had to tie up was Sai Nijima's cognitive Akechi. This part's really complicated. I know you're tired. You sure? Well, we needed to lure Akechi into Sai Nijima's palace and have him kill the cognitive version. But Akechi would have entered the palace immediately after meeting Sai Nijima in the hallway. Because of that, there was a pretty decent chance he'd run into the cognitive Akechi. And if that happened, Akechi would have totally realized we'd lured him into the palace. Nobody actually even thought of this possibility until the night before the assassination. Makoto realized in the middle of the night. Then it was a huge mess trying to figure out what to do. In the end, we chose to sneak into the metaverse while the plan was happening to tie up the cognition. Because you told Sae to show him the phone, we expected her to chat with him for at least a bit. So, we had a few minutes to strike after the cognitive Akechi showed up, but before the nav activated. It was Operation Tie Him Up. Though it wasn't really much of an operation in the end. Thankfully, Sai Nijima didn't know his true nature, so the one that appeared was an ordinary kid. It was pretty simple surrounding him, knocking him out, and tossing him on another floor.
Only I could have been around.
But man, watching Makoto's skill was super amazing. I guess she does use enough. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, appreciate what everyone else did.
No.
I just can't help but rant when I'm talking about stuff that interests me. Sorry about that.
You beat
Just
the
focus on resting up.
cognitive
You don't
Akechi
have to
up.
worry
Please tell
about
me one of
anything
you
else.
videotaped it.
And seriously, well done. Oh, you want...
No.
What? He's tired. You...
All right.
I'm gonna head back then.
Guess you won't be going to school for a while.
Ah, darn it.
Don't worry about it. This'll be a breeze compared to what we've had to face so far. And we'll have all the time to come up with the plans together. To be perfectly honest, I don't really care what happens to Shido, one way or the other. But when I consider the fact that he's your enemy, I naturally think he's my enemy as well. I'm going to stay with you until the very end. Well then, we should get to sleep. You know, something that Futaba said before, when you were in a pinch in the palace, she picked up a reading of someone who came to your rescue. Was that...
I think you know.
So it was Yoshizawa. Then we'd better let her know you're safe now. And I'll even lend you a hand with that.
I mean, also, I wasn't in a pinch. The only reason that was an issue was because the game didn't let me just one-shot the enemies. Yeah, that's the most disgusting part of all this.
There's no point in even having an election. Shido's gonna win.
Of course.
I should have saved. I should have saved and I should have ended.
Plus, the current government has been getting wrapped up in...
Yeah, we're gonna be in cutscene hell again for a little bit, but thankfully not too much longer.
Whatever problems we have.
Honestly, it doesn't especially after it turned out those Phantom... Well, show.
Heard you were home, so I announced it during homeroom. You okay? You're a bad teacher. Yep. You're alive! The news is reporting you committed suicide. Call me when you can. I'm so confused. But as long as you're safe, don't worry about school. Just take care of yourself. Is it true the leader of the Phantom Thieves died? How could the police let him commit suicide in jail? They need to get their shit together. Quiet down. It'd be great if you threw the chalk at the place where I was sitting.
Things haven't been the same since he went home.
Didn't they announce my name when they were talking about the...
No, they never actually said your name. They only just said that he was caught and that he was a high schooler.
Like, I don't know. I thought they, like, were gonna say it, but then they, like, spoke over it so that they wouldn't have to say the name. But I don't know.
Oh God, who let him know?
Oh, so this is where all of the people that you have, like, the high confidence with...
Yeah.
That kind of sucks, because I would have liked to have filled out, Oh, wait, the other two are party members, so whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, and well, wait, Mishima called me anyway. Huh.
Yeah, Mishima just did before this one, so yeah. It doesn't matter, because he already knows too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody else probably would not be texting you.
Hey.
Because it's only the ones who know that you're the Phantom Thieves who start reaching out.
Okay.
Keyword. Have you tried piece of shit? One word? That's the plan.
You gotta be kidding. You realize you're done for if you get caught, right? Ugh. Just don't stay out too late.
Don't worry. They're never gonna catch us. We're on a mission from Gad.
Let's begin at once. Police cars are making rounds, so we can't stay here too long. We already have Masayoshi Shido and Diet Building. All we need is what he thinks of this place.
Maybe Mount Fuji, since it's the highest place in the country?
No, the highest place in the country was my body after I got out of that interrogation room. Boom!
You know, it was foreshadowed because we made that same joke about Alice when she was stuck in the prison.
It's true. My God. Wow.
Since he's going to subjugate everyone as Prime Minister, perhaps a school?
What about an arena, like the cult?
Imperial Palace? It's no good.
I thought we would have gained entry by now. Maybe we shouldn't have called you here.
Hey, you think he's guarding his whole palace with... Shido stole the cognitive science research, right? Well, maybe it had some special move written in it.
Is that even possible?
Who knows?
There was nothing like that in the notes I saw.
Anyways, what kind of person is Shido?
I did some light research on him last night, but I couldn't get a grasp on the type of man he is.
He was the type of man who commits sexual assault.
That man over there is probably a legislator. Excuse me, I'm a member of the newspaper club at my high school.
Sure.
What kind of person is Representative Shido? What's he think about the national diet?
His stance is dedication for country. It's how he's garnered everyone's trust. He's an admirable man of action, with a first-class determination. I'd say he's a model politician.
Oh, runway! Runway!
I believe that he'll help create a wonderful future in which young adults like you can live in ease.
An exemplary answer.
It makes sense he wouldn't tell teenagers anything unnecessary.
Look over there.
Look over there, he's on a walkie-talkie,
Wait,
even though he
is that
hadn't
about
even
us?
reached for his walkie-talkie yet.
We should leave it. Tomorrow's the day off. So
We should all think about this tonight.
The criminals calling themselves the Phantom Thieves are no more. However, I believe that this country's citizens are still living their days in anxiety. These scandals only increase our distrust of the current government. As a citizen myself, I am enraged.
Look who's talking.
What does it mean to be a politician with responsibility? Working toward personal gain without consideration of the country is outrageous.
The election's public notification is tomorrow. No matter where I go, people are cheering for Shido.
Everywhere we go, people want to know who we are. So we tell them we are tigers. Mighty, mighty tigers.
Everyone's being deceived so easily.
Try to look up Shido's interviews online. They also goddamn fake. 3 years old, gone through Metropolitan Assemblyman, Representative, Cabinet Minister.
In order to save this country that has been tainted by villains, social reform is essential.
Ugh.
Okay, good, good.
I should write something.
Thank Christ.
We're free.
We're free. We're finally free. I mean, for now.
Hell is ended for now.
Cutscene Hell will continue Tuesday at 3 p.m. Central next week, I think, depending on the whole Metroid thing. It's very hard to tell these days. Oh boy. That was dense.
From my remembrance, that's the worst of it.
Okay. Oh boy. Oh, I'm exhausted. Oh man. But are they really not going to let me go back to school or meet with any confidants or anything for like the rest of the game?
Not for the rest of the game, but it will be like a couple weeks.
Okay, that's unfortunate.
Like at least 2 or 3 weeks.
Well, that I guess that'll be enough to allow me to finish Futaba's. I mean,
the thing about it is they still let you go up to the rooftop. You can just teleport up there.
Oh, that's... Huh. Who knew?
Yeah, so Haru's not blocked off to you.
Okay, well that's good. Well, I guess we'll see what's what when we start up again. But, let me just, do this because,
Oh, no. No! Sammy!
As always, thank you very much for coming around and helping me limp through this.
This today, for as weird and strange and how much of a trial it was, I had a lot of fun.
Me too. It all new hilarious concept unlocked.
Yeah, just like withdrawal Joker, like the whole juice thing that we've created has been my favorite thing so far. This entire playthrough.
Juice Joker, drug Joker,
withdrawal Joker,
whacked out withdrawal Joker. Oh my god. He's just like constantly insulting everybody. Like all of this has been like building up.
It's too good.
Oh man. But yes, I suppose if we actually get to do it on Tuesday, then we will pick this up Tuesday at 3 p.m. next week. Saturday morning, 9 a.m. I don't remember what the whole family breakfast situation is looking like, but if we if I end up going to breakfast, then my stream will be more along the 10 o'clock hour, but usually it's at 9 o'clock a.m. and we're going to be playing more UFO 50, for better or for worse. I guess we'll find out. But yeah, like I said, thanks for coming by and helping me out with this, as always.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And until our next scheduled transaction,
let us fleet the Hohokus and Weehawken, the twin jewels in Joyce's crown.
peace out.